What's good? Okay, so we're doing some root collar excavations at a parkway at an undisclosed location. I can't say where I'm at, and it really sucks that I can't say where I'm at, but there's just some people that don't want me doing this. Even after they said I could do it, they might change their mind. Anyway, here's why we're doing it. So, real quick explanation. If you're an arborist, and let's say you're a climbing arborist, really, if you're an arborist that just works around trees, or anybody that works around trees, you're supposed to do what's called like a 360, right? You're supposed to walk all the way around the tree. You're supposed to look up in the crown canopy. You're looking for structural defects that could be dangerous, dead hanging branches that could fall and bust your skull open. You're looking for electrical hazards, but you're also supposed to look at the base of the tree. You're supposed to look to see, does this tree have dying roots? You know, is it structurally unsound? If I was to go up in the tree, is there a chance that it could like snap off and break and, you know, I could ride this thing to my death? That's something you're supposed to look for. So one of the ways that you look for, you know, the bottom at the base of the tree is you're supposed to look for the flare. You're supposed to say, geez, does it look like a telephone pole going in the ground? That'd be an indicator that tree could be structurally unsound at the root level. Or does it have that nice flare, you know, where it gradually gets bigger at the bottom? Well, here's the problem with that, and here's the problem that we see a lot, especially in parkway plantings. You get what's called a false flare, and this is what a false flare looks like. So if you walked up to this tree, you went to do an inspection, I don't know if it shows up good on the video, but it does go out. So the dirt was right about here, which is still too high, because the flare is really down here. So it was buried, it's about almost 6 inches. A little, actually it's over 6 inches, 8 inches. It was buried up to here. But there was a girdling root in here. And that girdling root looked like that. So this was in here, like so, constricting the flow and the tree's ability to push out. I wish I could have captured on camera when we cut this. Actually, it was something like this. When we cut this, the snap, it moved about 2 inches, it jumped. I can't even imagine how many pounds, you know, per square inch of pressure there was in this root up against the stem of this tree. But what I'm saying is, so you think that the tree looks good because maybe you don't see this, and not every arborist is running around with an air spade or a pneumatic tool of any kind blowing away dirt to examine root flares and what they look like. But this is what happens. So we cut this root out. Like I said, you can really see the indentation in this tree. It's swollen right here all the way around, but this is not the flare. The flare is down here. Oh, and by the way, here's some wire basket. And the verdict is still out, whether or not you're supposed to take the basket away or not. And I've talked to some PhDs. I've looked at some samples. They're called rounds, so they've actually gone through and they've had a root like buried in, or had a wire buried in a root like this, and then they cut a sliver, and you can see the wire, the inside. You can see that the root has compartmentalized around the wire. Its damage is, I don't know, I guess negligible, but it's one wound that just shouldn't have to happen. So anyways, that's my deal on man, why it's so important when you plant these trees that you make sure that you're getting the excess soil off the top of the ball before it goes in the ground. It's just vitally important because these trees have been in the ground. I mean,